right, Ted, how's development going on the latest generation of the little guy, the Little Red?
It's going great. The Scarlett and the Epic, they're cranking right along. It's breakneck speed, and everybody's having a good time. And the 5K sensor's alive, and we're seeing pictures from it. And before you know it, we'll have a camera.
What do you think of it compared to the Canon 5D that we're sitting on right
That's a
now?
great question because you're shooting me with the 5D. First of all, unbeknownst to a lot of people, I'm a huge fan of this camera. I think it's great, and I think what people are doing with it is foretelling the future a little bit, because it's obviously a very advanced digital still camera that you're shooting a little 1080p web movie out of it. It records to the H.264 codec, from what I understand, and it has a great little purpose for this kind of stuff. You need to pick up some little pieces of video. You can't really compare it to the Red because the Red is shooting full-on Red Code RAW frames that are designed for motion pictures, and this is just sort of a byproduct of what they're doing. I applaud it, and I think it's wonderful what they're doing, but you can't really compare these two animals. What's happening with Scarlett and Epic is really fascinating because we're taking sort of the early stages of what you're seeing here, and we're taking it to the next level in terms of building a camera that's really designed from the ground up for both still and motion. So you'll be achieving, in our 6K, for example, our 6K Scarlett or 6K Epic, full frame 6K images on the Epic side up to 100 frames a second as full-on raw files that you'll be able to manipulate as movies or as stills. And we're already seeing people do this with the Red One. There are a lot of companies that are approaching us all the time. I mean, I'm having meetings and we're doing screenings and strategic talks with especially companies that are doing luxury brand work for a lot of still photography. And those clients are requesting a web component because the web is such a big part of these marketing initiatives. They want something that's in motion, but the photographers they use are not videographers. They shoot stills for a living. So the Red is a perfect blend because they understand how to expose a histogram. They understand how to use dynamic range for raw files. So they're bringing in Reds either side by side, or sometimes they're using now Red as the predominant medium because it effectively is a 12 megapixel digital still camera to shoot motion and stills and kind of mix and match. So we're doing it now with a camera that conceptually does it, and then imagine in a few months when we have one that's really designed to do this from the ground up. So the 6K will do 24 megapixels, right? The 9K will be 65 megapixels, both still and motion, right? At very high frame rates, at full sensor. So things are pretty exciting. It's a pretty exciting moment in time when you watch this convergence happening, and we'll bring a lot of that to the table.
What do you think of AJA's new Kai Pro?
Oh, well, my buddies at AJA I used to work for AJA, as some people might know. I was the one of the guys behind the Kona stuff and the first I/O box, which was years ago now. And I could never be more proud of these guys as how they continue developing and coming up with new, wonderful, great stuff. And just because it's AJA, it's going to work good. They build really high quality gear and always have from the very beginning of that company. They don't fool around. And everybody sort of knows that now. That's why their booth is pretty packed over there. And this new thing, it's going to be really cool for us just from a video assist standpoint. We shoot these crazy big 4K RAW frames, but there's a whole new wave of people trying to apply new technology to the video assist game, right? So we have what we call a very advanced video assist on our camera that happens to be HD. They can throw that into this Kai Pro box, and it's only this big, and record that as ProRes and play it back for the directors right on site, and look at stuff and manipulate it, and it's a pretty cool little thing just for that. And of course, there's tons of other uses too, but that's just for us,
Right on. So next year, next NAB 10.
Yep.
What are we going to be buzzing about then?
I don't know. You'll have to come back and see me the day before, and I'll tell you. And we should talk about the new lenses too, right? You want to talk about those?
Oh, yeah.
So the other big announcement that's going on is that our brand new set of primes is just on the cusp of shipping. And these are pretty fantastic. The only way to really know is to see them side by side. We actually had a Japanese presentation yesterday at the Hilton, and we brought the proper lens projector and the rails to show it on, and we compared what are considered the best lenses in the world, and they cost a lot of money. to our red lenses. And without sort of giving away too much, all I can tell you is people were shocked at what they saw, at the quality of our new red primes as compared to those other lenses. And I'm a big fan of those other lenses, so I don't want to really sort of use their names in an interview, but you know who I'm talking about. These are major motion picture lenses that are very, very costly and very good in their own right. But now we have a set of lenses that go see them, is all I can say. And you will see what I see. Go see them on a chart. Go see some motion pictures made with the red on these, or put them on a film camera if you want. Do whatever you want. They're pretty good.
And we're here at the G-Tech booth.
Yeah, my good friend Roger and his gang at G-Tech.
Roger's over here.
He's Roger's the gaffer. He's got the light pedal.
So what do you think of the G-Tech stuff with the red, with the new
Well,
ES Pros?
you know, if you you gotta love G-Tech. Oh no, something exciting's going on. So, you know, I have a long-standing relationship with G-Tech, a deep collaboration with these guys. And you know, if you talk about the connection with the red, this is hysterical. They're gonna think that like we paid for this, like it's all like organized, you know. The red is all about media and storage and what you do with stuff, right? Because the lab and the traditional film world has sort of become a data lab. So storage becomes a very, very critical part of what you do with these files, and the G-Tech stuff is obviously best of breed in all categories to handle what you would take for the red and back it up with the G drives, the G speed, and you know all that stuff. And no, I'm not getting paid to do this. I just like the stuff, so should use it.
Right. Well, thanks a lot, Ted.
Sure, my pleasure.